Are you okay?
Just getting my bearings. It's been a minute.
It has been, man.
I've been locked in a bag for like 8 weeks.
Are you a little stiff?
Wouldn't you like to know? Time flies when you're having fun. That's all I'm going to say about that. Hello.
Hi.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is two things. It is the triumphant return of the Super Awesome Comic Review Show.
Super awesome. After an eight-week hiatus?
At least. It might have been more. I don't know. You lose track of time in the void. But also, John Morgan is here. And also, we're not talking about the new books this week.
No.
What we're talking about is Free Comic Book Day books.
Free Comic Book Day for you people.
It's this Saturday, John.
This Saturday. And there's a lot of things going on at your store. There's a lot of going on at other stores across America.
Every comic shop worth its salt celebrates Free Comic Book Day. If you're going to a shop that doesn't give you free comics on Free Comic Book Day, go to a different shop.
Go to a different shop, because there's going to be one in your city probably that will.
Yeah.
And a lot of them have really good deals.
Yeah, we're gonna have sales. There's gonna be sidewalk sales. There's gonna be some cosplayers. There's gonna be a lot of stuff. There's gonna be a lot of stuff going on. But mostly, there's gonna be free books.
Free books. And the free books are what we're going to talk about, because there's a massive amount of material that comes in from the various companies. And I'll be honest, not all of it is equal.
It sure isn't. And so this is your guide to Free Comic Book Day. We did one of these last year. It seemed to go over well. Welcome back.
Welcome back. A lot of the people who were at the top are no longer at the top.
No, it's surprising. 2000 AD was that your favorite last year?
Second to favorite, actually. The Fantagraphics was #1 for me. But 2000 AD put out a really strong comic last year, and this year not so much.
This year, they're not ranking. There is not a top 5.
No,
we've grown past ranking. But we will say no more about 2000 AD's Free Comic Book Day book.
Nope.
There were a lot of books. Marvel and DC put out some stuff. Marvel put out some stuff that's relevant to future releases.
Right.
DC put out some stuff that is
irrelevant to really anybody, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, not a strong showing this year.
Not a strong showing for DC.
But let's talk about who had a very strong showing.
Absolutely.
Attack on Titan Anthology
from Kodansha.
And it's an interesting thing. Here's the disclaimer. I don't care about Attack on Titan.
At all.
I would go so far as to say, I don't like Attack on Titan. But I like...
Foxi actually voices this to me on a fairly regular basis, the degree of dislike. It's not just casual.
I don't get it. I'm sorry, kids. I don't get your cartoon animes. No, that's not true. I like Cowboy Bebop. I like the good stuff. Hayao Miyazaki.
Everything that's old, essentially. It's
I'm old.
It's like
that's fine.
The anime version of 90s hip-hop.
Yeah, I like hip-hop when it was real, when it was about the music. But anyway, Attack on Titan Anthology, what's really grabbing me here, and why I think you might want to grab it...
Yeah, there's actually some good stuff in it.
There's a lot of cool contributors. This is going to be like Kodansha's...
Mostly Kodansha works as a translation sort of publisher. Like, basically they're taking things that they publish in Japan, and they're translating it and distributing it here in the U.S.
And bless them for that.
Yeah, no, totally. They have some very good stuff that comes out.
But this is all new content from American creators based in the world or based on the concepts of Attack on Titan.
Right.
And there's some really cool dudes, like the Hanukkah brothers, Tomer and Asaf.
Do about 4 pages, but they are four gorgeous pages. I was actually really impressed by it.
I'll go ahead and just show you all of the Hanukkah pages, because they're so cool.
Flash to those.
And I definitely want to know more about that story. So in each case, what you get in here is a preview of what you're going to get from the Attack on Titan Anthology. And also included stuff from Evan Dorkin, Kevin Wada, Michael Avon Oming, Cam Stewart with Babs Tarr and Brendan Fletcher. That's the Batgirl team.
That's pretty, and that was a pretty strong one.
Yeah, definitely. And that one's the most off the script, really, because it's like, it's at a convention, we've got people cosplaying as Attack on Titan characters.
Sexy Titans are involved.
Yeah, and then they get some social justice warrior action going, as you would from a Cam Stewart comic. So,
that's what I expect, really.
Yeah, it's, I really look forward to seeing how everyone interprets this property and all the fun stuff that they get to do within that world, or exterior to that world, reflecting what it is to culture.
Right.
So, cool stuff. It's funny. It's pretty. Check it out.
Check it out. Pick up a copy of that.
Love and Rockets.
Let's talk about Love and Rockets. Fantagraphics for this year is basically saying, like, they actually, in the Love and Rocket, it's basically just, like, kind of a small smidgen of old Love and Rockets material.
Yeah, they give you the breakdown, which, honestly, did educate me a little bit. I knew that it started in '82. I knew that it ran for a while, but I didn't know how the volumes broke down, and I didn't realize that new stories were always new. I thought that they were still collections of single issues.
Oh,
it's been so long since I collected Love and Rocket's single issues.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's cool. It teaches you some stuff if you don't know about Love and Rockets.
If you're a novice or a newbie to the Love and Rockets universe, which is split between the two brothers, Jaime Hernandez and Gilbert Hernandez, it kind of breaks it down a little bit if like you've been sort of curious about it and if you've heard a lot about it. To my personal belief, I believe Jaime Hernandez is America's best living comic book artist.
He's at least America's best Hernandez brother.
No, I think he's actually legitimately the best artist in America.
He's really good.
And Gilbert is his own sort of crazy force of artistic nature. And he's a little more like, he sort of comes and goes, but he's...
Quick, John.
Yes.
Favorite Jaime collection?
Favorite Jaime collection has got to be the Love Bunglers, most recently.
Love Bunglers, check it out.
Check it out.
But before then, for free, check out the free comic book day, because you get a taste of what both brothers do.
Yeah.
You get to see some of the more recent work. You see some character introductions. They give you context to understand it more. And then there's some little strips at the back, some little jokey things that are.
And apparently
awesome.
they're going to be going on a more regular basis than just these sort of sort of set collections once a year.
Yeah, this follows the trend of successful free comic book day releases that is actually in preparation for new content that's coming. So it's getting the hype rolling. I mean, you should be hyped, because a new monthly Love and Rockets...
A new month... I don't think it could be monthly, because it would basically be mostly Gilbert.
I'm sure it'll fail going monthly like Secret Wars did. But...
Thankfully not.
It'll be good. Also
exactly.
like Secret Wars, but completely different than Secret Wars. Moving right along.
The
Stuff of Legend.
Stuff of Legend. Actually, I've actually been avoiding this on the shelves for a few years. I've seen it, but kind of passed it on by. It was much stronger than I was anticipating.
Yeah, apparently this is a reprint of the very first Free Comic Book Day Stuff of Legend that they released, which kind of kicked off the series, which they're up to, I think, book 5 now, it says.
Yeah, they're up to book 5 at this point.
I've never read this beginning, and I gotta say, with context, Stuff of Legend is far more interesting than when you read the other Free Comic Book Day releases, which I felt like were, incomplete snippets of a story, but this kind of led you into the world and made me excited for it, so I definitely want to check out more.
I'm picking up the first volume now, just to kind of see where it goes from here.
And I've been a fan of C.P. Smith's art for a while. He does really great pinups. He did that Wraith series with Joe Hill.
Which I haven't read.
That was crazy. Awesome, though. Fans of Lock and Key, check out Wraith. And also maybe check out the Stuff of Legend, because Joe Hill's friends with the artist, so that's good enough, right?
Right.
Okay, moving along. Archie #1, reprinted for Free Comic Book Day.
For Free Comic Book Day, and this is the one that Fiona Staples and Mark Waid did, which I like Mark Waid, I like Fiona Staples, I've never been a big Archie fan.
But, based on the creative team alone, it's kind of a no-brainer.
It's kind of a no-brainer, and actually I was kind of swept into the storyline. I'm used to Archie comics being... what do you call it? Like, sort of like setup and punchline, in terms
Dated, predictable.
Dead, sort of predictable, and with that sort of cartoony style that nobody's been using since the 50s.
Which for some people is like comfort food.
Yeah, no, for some people it's the equivalent of like Pop-Tarts or something like that.
Totally.
They just kind of enjoy it, regardless of the nutritional content. But like, in this case, I actually was kind of taken in emotionally. Like I was actually, because I mean, we all know the Archie characters. Even if we don't read the Archie comics, it's just kind of part of our air. No,
it's told in a compelling way, and right from the get-go, they're presenting a mystery. That's not like, like Egyptian pyramid mysteries or something.
It's not like Tintin, where there's like a conspiracy of like, men and cigars. But like...
But the lipstick incident, what might this be? I know, because I've been reading Archie, but do you? Have you? I don't know. Figure it out.
And yeah, actually, I think I'll be picking it up now.
I would recommend it.
So... check it out. Get it on Free Comic Book Day. If you're like me and you were maybe skeptical about Archie ever being something worth reading, I would say pick it up.
This couldn't be any less of a high-pressure situation for checking out Archie. This is what Free Comic Book Day is all about.
Exactly. To kind of try out various properties.
Yeah. Up next, Mooncop.
Mooncop from Drawn and Quarterly. Drawn and Quarterly is putting out a lot of really great stuff right now.
And this is just simply a Tom Gauld sampler. It's a preview of Mooncop, which will be coming out later this year.
And then it's got like some of his shorter strips, which are just kind of one-off, like joke strips.
And they're so funny.
They're really, really funny. They're very literary. And Mooncop has these very it's a very strange comic with a lot of very long silences but really funny as well.
Totally.
It's kind of like it's kind of an awkwardly funny comic set on the moon.
And there was a kind of a sweet sadness to it.
There is kind of a sweet sadness, sort of an elegiac quality to it.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like fascinating. That it's kind of like basically Mooncop is basically I would say the people who are on the moon are kind of like people in a small town that's being shut down because all the businesses have left.
Yeah, everything's being shuttered, and this guy's job is just to keep the peace, but there's nothing but peace.
There's nothing but peace right now.
And it's cute. There's an idiosyncratic simplicity to the art style and the concepts. And then to see the comedy in the back end of this book, where you see how he can really nail a joke in one panel, that really speaks to the promise of what Mooncop can accomplish in a longer form, too.
So, I'm all down. I'm going to pick it up.
Oh, absolutely. Mooncop's on my pickup list now. And we're not doing a top 5, but the best!
The one that you definitely need to pick up.
Free comic book
Everybody
day
needs
book.
to pick this up.
Hilda. From Nobrow.
Nobrow has very quietly been collecting a really impressive roster of artists.
You've never heard of.
That you've never heard of, and unfortunately a lot of people have not been hearing about. The top notch of that is Luke Pearson. He does the Hilda series. The Hilda series is kind of a combination of Hayao Miyazaki and Tove Jansson, the woman who does the Moomin Trolls. But that being said, there is a lot about Hilda which is very good. It has a strong female protagonist. It has a very good sort of mother figure in it.
I like the relationship between mom and daughter a lot. Hilda is a cryptozoologist. She's just super interested in the world, and her world in particular. She lives in this magical valley with all these awesome little sprites and trolls and like little pocket dimension
pocket dimension things and giants and
the Black Hound. That was a good one.
That was amazing.
She's had 5 books now?
She's had 5 books, and like many of you would not have heard of these, but Nobrow has actually started releasing a bunch of really affordable volumes of it. Before it was hardback and a little more expensive.
$25, and a lot of people are like, I don't know, too rich for my blood.
But now it's like $11, and you should absolutely go pick them up.
$11 for a trade that is really second to none, especially for all ages entertainment.
There are a lot of all ages books that are coming out on Free Comic Book Day. Frequently, I am very sorry to say, they treat children like essentially lobotomized eggplants. They are emotionally poor books. They are not exciting. They're not anything that as a child they would have found at all interesting. Hilda is the exact opposite. It is very smart in terms of craft. The craft of making comics, it is exceptionally high.
Yeah, such good cartooning.
Such good cartooning, and just
and
really
character development.
And character development.
Color use.
Support your children's minds by buying better art. So definitely, they should definitely be getting Hilda. And if you are an adult, you should also be reading Hilda. In the same way as if you're an adult, you should be watching Miyazaki films.
And we would be remiss to not mention the other members of this sample pack. We've got Akisi, which I wasn't sure if I'd be interested in. I'd seen the cover of it before. I was like, I don't know, that art's like, maybe not for me. But then I read it, and it was great.
It was very charming.
It's about like a small African village and this little girl that's having fun and kind of hustling.
Just kind of having fun and hustling, and it's a very, what do you call it? It is the opposite of people's expectations of what Africa is, which is God knows what we all need right now.
Totally,
because the amount of assumptions people lay on Africa is ridiculous. And to just have a book that is about a bunch of kids, like, messing around, fooling each other, and getting into trouble is exactly what the world needs.
Yeah, it just shows there's really no divisions. Everybody's the same.
Yeah, totally.
And then the last story in this book, last but not least,
kind of wild. Like I was sort of fascinated by the world, and I'll definitely be picking this one up.
Sam Bosma's Fantasy Sports. It's a preview of Book 2. Book 1 is already available. Book 2 will be coming out, I think, this month or maybe next month.
Another sort of like this is the kind of get people like sort of geared up for the release.
Good move, Nobrow.
Good move, Nobrow.
This is the best Free Comic Book Day move you could make.
Absolutely, because that's what you want. You want people to be like, this is coming out. Well,
I'm excited. Need to get this. I will look for that at my local comic book shop.
I say so. That's a good idea.
I agree.
Kind of has an old school sort of manga look to it.
Definitely got that old school
but the
manga.
coloring is really sophisticated, unlike mangas.
Yeah, it's a little bit more. It's like a blend of manga and like European comics style.
Yeah.
Again.
And with sort of a hard sort of surrealist edge.
And it seems like
I think it looks pretty good.
It seems like we get two little separate excerpts butted up next to each other from the same story.
Yeah, I got that impression too.
But the concept seems to be that there's not only are we talking about sports, we're talking about fantasy sports with magic
and wizards and conspiracies of wizards that are to be looked out for.
This little girl is developing, like growing into her apparent wizard potential.
Her wizard potential,
and,
which we find out at a softball game.
That may or may not be intimidating, and she may or may not be on the run from wizard school. And she's got a like warrior buddy that's barrel-chested that's with her.
Right.
And,
she ends up in a weird frog village.
Yeah, the weird frog village. It's
while
like,
they're on the run.
It kind of felt like a wetter version of like the Mos Eisley Cantina.
Yeah, it is actually quite a bit.
So it's just a lot of really exciting landscapes here, from the reality of children playing to cryptozoology to this like magical wizard oriented sports landscape of all things.
And once again, all three books in this like little anthology collection are all ages, are all artistically strong, and and are all age. I mean, like they're just like basically I could imagine adults and children reading them.
Yeah, it's rare that when you say all ages, you mean it's for adults too.
Yes, exactly.
But that's exactly what we mean, because Hilda is that strong. Fantasy sports appears to also be that strong, and Akisi, I would say, is idiosyncratic in ways that I felt it kind of had a kinship with even Moon Cop, which is totally not childlike at all.
Right.
But still probably all ages.
In terms of content, there was nothing that said like a child couldn't read it.
Tom Gauld definitely dropped a curse word or two in Moon Cop. But that would be where the departure is, because Akisi has no curse words in it.
No.
But, apart from that, that was your Free Comic Book Day breakdown.
Those are the ones you should be looking out for. There's a lot of other choices out there. And check out those too. Like maybe there's something that you were looking out for that maybe we didn't cover. But you should definitely go to your local comic book shop and see what you can get.
I know I will.
Foxi will be there.
Because I live at the comic book store now.
When you're not living in the closet.
Yeah, when I'm not trapped in a bag, which is where I'm going to go back to now. We'll see you next week with new comics, I guess. That's crazy, but see you then.
Be a feminist.
Always. Be a foxinist.
Be a foxy feminist.
Oh yeah, that's my favorite kind!